Hi, thanks for joining me for another video. Something slightly different today because usually I would do an intro in the rig and then just get into doing something, but I can't do that today because I'm recovering from surgery. So there were some things inside me that were broken and required to be fixed by some guy with a knife. Anyway, that's been done. But it means that I'm not going to be able to get back in my rig there for probably about 6 weeks, realistically. So I don't actually have any other content to throw up on the channel except for one thing which I recorded a while ago back when AMS2 received the American update, and I did a bit of a stint on Daytona. So this is a video which I wasn't originally going to release because it's like an hour long, but I thought, you know what, I haven't got anything else going on right now, so I might as well. It is of course a 24-hour session, compressed down to 1 hour. I was racing the DPI Muti-class, AI about 100 I think. It does go on, so I will put some timestamps in there, and hopefully you can use those to skip all the boring shit. But anyway, if that sounds interesting, stay tuned. Right, so I've no idea what my actual lap time is around this track in this car, but I'm going to kind of assume, 2 minutes. I don't know, really don't know, that's just a guess. So I'm going to try and do like a 2-stop strategy, or 1-stop strategy rather. No idea what the AI are going to be doing. So let's just find out.
60 minutes. Okay, Jim, stay calm, focus.
Right, so I've got a rolling start, not a rolling start, we've got a formation lap going because I want to sort my VR out a little bit first, which is actually, it's pretty good actually. Just going to straighten it up. Get some speed on before I get a penalty for going too slow. Sit up in the car a little bit more. That'll do. Sit back a little bit. That's fine. Let's get rid of the keyboard. Now I have driven Daytona before, so I'm fairly familiar with the track. These cars feel pretty cool actually. Force feedback, it's not really being driven in anger at the moment, but it feels pretty heavy, which is good. It's quite reassuring. Now I was quite surprised that I can't adjust the front downforce of these. So they have got a splitter, but there's no adjustment for the front downforce. All I can do is adjust the angle on the rear wing. So I've no idea how this car is going to actually handle or feel when I get going. I've put a nice black livery on it because it's pretty cool. Being up on this embankment in VR is kind of strange because really I should be oriented like that, but because the car's kind of rotating around me, my body has moved elsewhere. It's just weird. But whatever. That's just the way it is, unless I'm in a motion sim. That's just something I'm going to have to put up with. And then when we come back down to the flat part of the track, my legs are back. They've come back to me. So we've got a bus stop sort of chicane here. And it looks like the AI are getting frisky. What's going on? They're all moving. I think they're trying to move up into double file. Yeah, they are, but there's just no indication that that's going to happen. Thanks, game. So this is pretty awesome actually, being up in this bank in VR. These cars look really good. Models are excellent. The details really, really good. They sound pretty awesome as well. Big sort of hefty. I don't know what kind of engine powers them. I forgot to look, but it sounds big. Let's prepare for a race start. And carnage at turn 1 and crashage by me, no doubt. Here we go.
Green, green, green. Mayhem is leading the race.
And I'm already... Wow. Okay, so there's not as much grip on these as I thought there would be. I've already lost a couple of places.
But that's okay because we've got a long way to go, so I'm not bothered really at this stage. We'll see how the pit strategy works out.
Clear left.
See how many times I spin and crash. Wow, the AI are all over me.
Left. Clear left. On your right.
There's
Still
one
there.
right up alongside me on my right.
Hold your line. Hold your line.
I'll hold my line,
Hold your
I
line.
think.
Hold your line.
Bit troublesome getting the power down
Hold your line.
out of the corners.
Clear right.
The back end wants to squeal around a bit. I think I've got traction control on. I'm not even sure, I forgot to check that. I haven't played this game for quite a while, so I don't know what button mappings I've got for anything. And the AI are all over me, bloody hell.
Clear left.
And yeah, I've just been taken on both sides at the same time. You seem to be a little slower out the exit of the bus stop though, so maybe I can make up some ground there. So at this stage of the race, I'm trying to gauge where the AI is slow so I can take advantage of that. Just drafting this guy now up the embankment, come down to the infield a little bit more, hopefully get past him. I've recently stiffened up my brake pedal, so I've added the Fanatec Performance spring kit to it. Christ, these guys are all over the place. They're just drafting the shit out of me right now.
On your left.
Yeah, he's right alongside me, so this is going to be interesting.
Hold your line.
He's going to have to try and get in there, and then he's going to barge in front of me.
Clear left.
And our first spin of the day has occurred on lap 2. Because I got punted, I think. Never mind. So I think I'm not going to do too well in this race. The AI are fast. At 100, or at least faster than me, which... that's not a tall order, really, come to think of it.
The leader has just done a 136.9.
I'll just get back on with it.
Thompson is now in the lead.
I can't actually remember if I got damage turned on or not. I didn't check that either.
You're last.
Yeah, I am. Maybe a lower AI skill level would probably be more appropriate for someone of my limited skills. Oh, she just does not want to go around there. I expected more grip, to be honest with you. Expected more downforce. Yeah, really just wants to slide away from me, and I'm going to have to learn how to drive this as I'm driving it. Cars are miles away. Feel really cocooned in this tiny cockpit. Sliced across the grass a little bit there.
Okay, Jim, the next car is Rice.
I thought that was going to be crew chief telling me off for cutting the track a little bit or going outside the limits, but he didn't notice, so I'm good with that.
Air temp's increasing. It's now 16 Celsius. That last lap was a 136.9.
136.9, so I don't know if that's shit or not, I'm not sure, but oh, come on, car. Absolutely
The guy in front is
no precision. Either that, I just need to slow down more for that corner, I think, but it just doesn't seem to want to turn in at all. Just slow down a little bit earlier. That's too early. I haven't figured out my braking zones yet. And it wants to go around on me as I accelerate out there. It's a bit of a handful, this is. Doesn't feel like the precision machine I was expecting. I suppose my experience with LMP1s is limited to Project Cars 2 and things like the Toyota TS040, which I absolutely loved that thing in that title. It was a scalpel. This thing feels more like a sledgehammer.
Lopez is now leading.
I don't think I'm going to be able to catch anyone, really. Don't know what kind of lap times the AI are putting in. Trying to balance the rear end by getting on the gas a little earlier. Keep the weight on the back, stop it from pivoting around the front.
Okay, Jim, you're reeling Rice in the gaps
Alright,
now.
so I am
1.9.
gaining. I am gaining if I can just stay consistent. Which I think that's my biggest weakness with sim racing, is my consistency.
We'll need to pit for fuel 30 minutes into the race.
Right, so thankfully I have got a fuel readout on the steering wheel here, and it's telling me that I'm averaging 4 litres a lap. Let's try and cut in a little earlier then, so I don't end up exiting the chicane on the grass.
That was at 137.4. The track temperature is falling. It's now 19 Celsius. Thompson is leading the race.
It's pretty tight
Air
left-hander.
temperature is falling. It's now 13 Celsius.
Try and feed the power in as the lock comes off. Bit of a wide entry to this corner because it's more or less a hairpin bend, but again the rear end just wants to come around unless I'm very careful with the accelerator, and I'm thinking that the AI just don't suffer from this, and I've seen it so many times in other types of cars and other tracks with Automobilista 2. The AI seems to operate on a different physics model. They've always got the ability to
Rice ahead is now 2.1.
They've always got the ability to get out of corners quicker. I'm definitely faster through that chicane than then, though. I think I'm slower into the chicane,
Lopez
but
is now leading.
I'm coming out of it quicker. Sun's starting to go down already. Did set 1 hour, didn't I? Yeah.
The track temperature is decreasing. It's now 16 Celsius.
Gone wide. Try to hold a little bit more speed through there then.
Okay,
and
Jim, the next car is closing.
So I've got headlights mapped, I think. There you are. Although there's nothing telling me that they're switched on in here. It's a bit of a shame. In Project Cars 2 we had the entire cockpit light up. And in ACC we've got various other things telling us the headlights are on, such as, well, the dashboard telling you the headlights are on. But nothing like that in Automobilista 2. It's just, God knows, all I can do is I can just see the faint glare of my headlights on the road ahead. So yeah, I know they're on. Would be nice to have that sort of detail. I'm gonna come in real deep and then just go out fast and across the grass. Didn't get told off for it though, so I think I can get away with doing that.
Galvez is now in the lead.
Alright, so someone's pitting. Now I'm gaining on these guys quite.
Off the pace in sector 1. Sector 2 is.
I'm just going to back off. I don't want to be going through turn 1.
Times okay.
Alongside these guys, or 3 wide or anything.
The driver in front of us is Soto.
Uh-oh, a little love tap there. Just couldn't put any more pressure into the brakes, otherwise it would have ended up in a spin. Could feel it. So my goal now is to try to keep as close as I can to these two, and then hopefully take them on the embankments. I'm just going to come through as fast as I can.
Right side, clear right.
I just tapped him and I ended up spinning out. Oh well, so here we are, back at square one. Oh.
Your front tyres are cold.
How? How are my front tyres cold? Well, they're at 57. The front and rear tyres at temperature, but... Oh. Slight little bang. Never mind, whatever. That was my mistake.
B12.
So it took me about 4 or 5 laps to catch them up, and now I'm back in the same situation. I've gone wide here as well because I'm too busy yapping away. Just waiting for the track to straighten out before I can apply any kind of power. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're reeling Rice in. The gap is 7.4 seconds.
I'm not finding this car very responsive at all.
Thompson is now leading. The gap to Mendes behind is increasing. It's now 15 seconds.
Well, I'm capable of gaining on them. I'm just not capable of keeping my car in a straight line for long enough that I can actually utilise the extra pace.
Take it easy, you've got cold tyres.
Take it. No! That's the whole point of this. You know, I'm supposed to drive as hard as I can and get some temperature into the tyres. I don't know why they're cold. I'm not running particularly high PSI either.
That lap time was 136.3.
car seems to slide around a lot. It just doesn't seem to have much connection to the road, or at least it doesn't feel like it does. But then I'm not exactly talking from a position of experience. I don't know what these things feel like in real life. Never even seen one in real life, let alone driven one. God, can you imagine if I drove one of these in real life? What would the
Right, Jim, you've got half your fuel left.
what would the insurance bill be? It'd be
Galvez
huge.
is now in the lead.
Pretty sure that doing that would seriously upset one of these in real life as well. Right, what have we got ahead? That looks like a GTE car.
You're reeling right in. The gap is now 3.2.
It might not be actually, it might be a prototype, I don't know.
P8, we're currently setting the pace. The track temp's increasing. It's now 21 Celsius.
No, it's a prototype up ahead. I didn't expect to have caught one of these guys so soon. Oh, come on, you bitch. It's understeer city. Might be because of the way I've got the anti-roll bar set up, perhaps, but... I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm a complete amateur. So my plan is just to run the tank until it's empty, fill it up to the brim again, and...
Okay, Jim, you're reeling right in. The gap's now 1.1 seconds.
that might give me some kind of advantage, unless the AI are doing exactly the same thing.
Nice and smooth with that throttle. Keep it balanced. P4. You've just done a 137.4.
See if I can get past this dude without any drama. So much trouble getting the rears to grip coming out corners. Now again, I don't want to be trying to do this through the chicane here, so
The leader, Norbury, is pitting.
let's try and draft him through here now, try and get past before turn 1. Don't want to go high, but I'm going to have to. So that's going to put me on the outside of turn 1. Oh, he's pitting the looks of it.
Still there.
No.
Clear left.
There's a couple of the
Me
pits
too.
already. Now we've got some GTEs up ahead. I find multi-class racing really interesting, and it's good fun actually if you're racing in the slower class as well.
On the GTE class cars.
Because yeah, trying to get out of everyone's way as they come been hammering through. Behind the BMW.
Car left. Hold your line.
Stuck now, aren't I? Should have probably tried to go the other side. So I'll try to take this one wide and then go up
Hold
high.
your line.
Just use the
Clear left.
brake horsepower to get past. So what I always loved about the Le Mans racing in Project Cars 2 is when
It's reeling you in. The gap's now 7.9 seconds.
I used to race with LMP1, LMP2 and GTE, and the difference between the LMP1 cars and the GTE cars is phenomenal. As soon as that hybrid kicked in,
10 minutes of fuel remaining.
it was like a rocket. But then Project Cars 2 sucks because the physics are bad and it's horrible to drive, but I'd had a lot of fun with it. I'm hoping Le Mans comes to Automobilista actually. Yeah, it'd be good, that would.
This is brilliant. Keep it up. You're in the lead. The gap to Thompson behind is increasing. It's now 8.9.
Yeah, I just sound a feather throttle so bad through there.
Car.
Let's try and get up on the outside of him this time.
Right side. Hold your line. Clear right.
It's such when you're up alongside one of the GTE cars sitting in this, they're enormous. They're so high up. These things are so flat and planted. Well, they look planted. This one doesn't feel particularly planted. Helicopter buzzing around up there as well. Right, so my average fuel consumption is 3.93 per lap, and I've got 15 litres left. So I've probably got about 5 laps or so.
Cars ahead. These guys are busy fighting each other.
On your right.
It's a raspy
Clear
Porsche.
right. Car right.
It's just,
Clear right.
I'm going to let them go because it's just not worth getting stuck in the middle of them. So I'm just going to come real wide round
Car
here
right.
and then blast
Still
it up.
there.
And as they move over,
Clear right.
Coming up on a slower class car.
On your right.
just put
Still
myself
there.
right here,
Hold your line. Clear right.
come out the exit with rotation, which I didn't want, but doesn't matter. Starting to see a rubber line wearing on the track.
The gap to Thompson behind is now 8.9 seconds.
I don't understand why my front tyres are so
We
cold.
estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining. The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 15 Celsius.
Oh, we've missed that apex a little bit. Come on. Such an unruly machine.
Slower class car ahead.
It's just, if you carry a little bit too much speed, it just, there you go, it just will not behave
Stewards
itself.
warned us for cutting the track. Keep it between the white lines.
I didn't technically cut the track, I just went outside it slightly. And it wasn't to an advantage either.
Right side.
If
Clear
anything,
right.
it cost me time. No, come on. Give it up as a log then to try and keep the flipping thing in a straight line, or in at least in the direction I wanted it to go.
Okay, Jim, we're running on fumes, mate. Hit this lap, in this lap.
Wow, that disappeared quick. Thought I'd have another lap left to go. Technically I probably could, but I'll be risking too much there, so let's get into the pits and fill her back up again.
What's your speed limit in the pits? We expect there'll be no traffic on exit. When we exit the pits, we should be in position 10.
10 at the back. So where am I now? Oh, well, I was in second or something, but yeah. So we are just over halfway, so I think my fuel strategy is going to work. Fill it up again. I should have enough fuel to last the rest of the race, and if the AI do another pit stop, then I might be able to get ahead in that manner.
You're halfway home. We think the fuel's going to be tight. You might need to save some.
Well.
There's a car behind. Take care, rejoin him. Your brake temperatures are looking good.
Nothing there. No, I missed my... Damn it. Feck. Tits. I missed my turn in because I was busy checking my mirror. I shouldn't have bothered.
Coming up on a slower class car.
So there's a prototype in amongst this lot. So I lost the position with that little spin back there.
The gap to Mugura in front is now 1.4 seconds.
So I have to check what fuel map I'm running. Ah, shit. That's too wide. This hasn't gone well.
Your brake temperatures are pretty high. You're outside track limits there.
Survived though.
V12.
I just cannot get it turned in at the moment. It just will not behave. I just need to get my concentration back and oh my, where are you going, you bastard? And now I'm stuck in Automobilista 2 grass, which as we all know is deadly.
Manuel is pitting from position 2. He should come out just in front of you. Right, Jim, you're approaching some slower cars. These guys are fighting for position.
So the other thing I've noticed is that the slower class cars don't get out of your way. I think they should be under blue flag. But the MS2 AI don't seem to respect that. Unless the blue flag...
The car's better than this. Get it together, man. E14.
Crew Chief is not happy. I feel like I've got to concentrate now that I've been given a telling off. I gained a bit of ground on him on the exit there, but I think as I'm just smashing my way through the back end of that flipping chicane. Looks like the BMW hasn't got any rear lights. At least it does in my headset. And as I get closer, you can see them.
Car right. Clear right.
Bit of a bizarre line.
Lopez is pitting.
Yeah, the AI are pitting a lot more than me, and this bodes well.
Galvez is now in the lead. Mendes is pitting from P4. We think he'll come out just behind you.
So I might explain why they're a bit quicker than me at the beginning of the race, because
Soto in. The gap is now 1.4. Air temp's falling. It's now 9 Celsius.
come on, shut up, because they're carrying less fuel. So obviously less weight. Now I've got a lot more weight on board, which might have affected my speed. I've noticed the car feels like a brick now since I filled it up with juice. Hope you don't want to go in the pits, pal, because I'm blocking you if you
Still
do.
there.
I want the inside line into turn one
clear
though.
right.
P11.
Oh, come on, front, do your thing. Go for a dive again. Locked up the fronts there.
Clear right.
Oh, it's turned into flipping demolition derby.
Galvez is entering the pits. He's in P1. We think he'll come out just in front of you. The leader, Galvez, is pitting. Norbury is now leading. The gap to Rice behind is now 5.4.
On your right. Still there. Hold your
Come
line.
on.
Clear right.
It's quite a lot of physical effort to hold onto the car on the embankment as well. Yeah, the steering gets very heavy.
10th position. That lap was a 139.4.
139, that's right slow, that is. Back end out. It's all about keeping the car as balanced as possible, but I just haven't learned how to do that yet.
Okay, Jim, you're reeling. Galvez in. The gap is 2.5. 20 minutes remaining. You've got 20 minutes left.
Alright, so there's 20 minutes left. It's starting to get light. 3.9 litres per lap. I reckon it should be okay. We're at the tail end of that chicane then when I lock it to the right. It's just basically understeering out of the final part, out of the exit.
P9. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace.
Tons of understeer. I just need to get my braking honed in a little bit better, get off the brakes before I start turning in, or at least getting a decent bit of trail on them. No, I don't want to go on the grass. Locked up back then. This car, of course, doesn't have ABS. Looks like clouds. Looks like maybe it'll rain, I don't know.
Norbury is pitting from position 1. It looks like he'll come out just behind you. The leader, Norbury, is pitting.
Right, this is going to be a feckin' disaster.
Right side. Clear right.
So just let him through. And then launch out behind him across the grass.
Still there.
Didn't quite mean to do that,
Clear
but it
right.
happened. I didn't get done for it though, so...
Keep doing this, Jim. This is terrific. Exactly what we came here for. P3.
Oh, no. It's trying to rotate on me again.
Come on, don't make it easy for him. Make him go the long way around.
Switch my headlights off. Not that I can tell.
15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
Alright, 15 minutes left of this boring video.
Car right. Hold your line. Clear right.
Well done, Jim. Good pass. Eyes front. Keep it up. We're looking good here. P2. We're matching race pace.
On your right. Clear right.
He had a look, but I was on the inside. Probably a little bit too far away to pick up a draft.
Gap 2.
Oh,
Lopez.
I really am bad at
Now
sticking to the track at that point.
Right side.
Technically cheating, I suppose.
Hold your line. Clear right.
Nice one, mate.
It's quite funny that I can get away with that, but I can't get
Slow
away
cars
with
ahead. These guys will be fighting for position. They might not see you.
putting a wheel over a curb.
Car right. Clear right.
Nice one, Jim.
Right,
This
let's
is
break up a
great.
little early.
Come on, keep nailing those exits.
On your right. Hold your line. Clear right.
We're quickest right
Just
now.
use
Right side.
the power,
Still
shoot
there.
past.
Clear right.
Off the brakes onto the throttle, balance the rear end, because it's going to want to
The gap 2. Lopez.
be in front
Behind
if I
is
don't.
increasing. It's now 1.7 seconds.
Be nice of crew chief to give me some idea of how much time I've got left in my fuel tank. I'll take the high road this time.
Approaching some slower cars. These guys are fighting for position.
Clear left. On your left. Clear left. Left side.
It's so high
Clear left.
in VR. This embankment is enormous.
Awesome stuff, mate. Keep it coming. You're leading. That was 139.2.
Well, I'm actually getting in the lead, but I think that's through pit strategy rather than actual driving skill, because the latter is lacking.
Slower class
certainly.
car ahead.
Left
The
side.
Chevrolet out of the way.
Clear left.
Air temps rising. It's now 11 Celsius.
Car's starting to feel a little bit more nimble now that I've burnt half the fuel off. I think they must put the fuel tank in front of the headlights.
Okay, Jim. 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
Right, 10 minutes of race time. What's my fuel looking like? I think I'll have enough.
Slower class cars ahead.
On your left. Clear left.
Yeah, I don't think the AI in aim is to respect blue flag at all. That's where ACC is really good,
Slower class car ahead.
because when you come up against someone you're lapping, an AI that you're going to lap, they just get out of the way. It's beautiful. My car's looking mucky. Just could have driven it through a field. Actually, I have, haven't I? Yeah. I forgot about that.
Car right. Clear right.
I thought he was just going to slam into me then, and
Coming
I
up on a slower car.
cocked that up. I tried
On
to
your right.
hold off the brakes because
Still
I
there.
wanted to carry more speed to get past
Hold your
him,
line.
and then I just couldn't make
Hold your
the
line.
make the turn. It's funny because the prototype that's tailing me is actually a lap behind, I think. Yeah, he's still trying to
Left side.
come through.
Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
I think he's a lap behind. Yeah, because I'm in position 1, so he must be. Unless... I believe it was Lopez who was directly behind me. Oh, who cares? Just drive the thing. Trying to think about stuff and drive, and then I make mistakes. ...295 kilometers per hour.
You've just done a 137.4.
It's about 180 mile an hour, something like that.
The gap to Lopez behind is now 7.1 seconds.
So I'm gaining on Lopez. Which is good. So all I've got to do is try to keep the car on the black stuff.
You're now in the lead. That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. 5 minutes of fuel remaining. 5 minutes.
Yeehaw. So my fuel strategy, I think, has paid off. Although I suspect it made the car a little bit hard to handle at the beginning. And straight after my first pit stop.
One more lap to go. Stay focused.
All alone. There's nothing in front of me, there's nothing behind me. It's kind of weird. Hoping they bring Road America and Watkins Glen to this game as well. They're good tracks. Change gear, Jim.
Well done, Jim. Great win. You deserved that today.
Right, well, I don't know if that's strictly true. I'm not sure if I did deserve that, because by all rights I shouldn't have won that. I spun out 3 or 4 times, made lots of silly mistakes, and really only one because I only did one pit stop instead of, I don't know how many the AI did. That seemed to be quite a lot. Just put a thimble's worth of fuel in and then go 3 laps and pull back into the pits. And maybe that's a better way to do it, because it probably makes the car a little bit more responsive, so you can be more competitive at the beginning of the race. But in my mind, yeah, in my mind, I should not have won that. Really, it's no driver that spins out and makes that many mistakes shouldn't be at the front of the pack. Anyway, the car is quite interesting to drive. It's not as precise as I'd kind of hoped it was. As I said, it feels like a bit of a sledgehammer. It's a bit odd in the way that it portrays grip to you. It's very. It seems to want to slide around quite a lot, and although through these faster corners there's a lot of confidence that it's actually planted to the ground, it's just obviously in the slower stuff it seems to have some fairly wacky behaviour. But then it might all be attributed to my driving.
Right then, so there's probably about an hour of your life wasted, but if you did in fact stick with it throughout the whole thing, well, I am deeply grateful for your time, and at this point you might as well like and subscribe as well. I'm going to leave the video there, so thank you very, very much for watching, and especially if you did actually watch the whole thing, that's incredible. I will be back as soon as I can with some more content, but as I said at the beginning of the video, it's probably going to be about 6 weeks or so before I can realistically get anything done. So hopefully you stick with the channel, and I shall see you then. Ta-da!